It's 10:02 and the meeting was supposed to start at 10. Three people are in the room, one is still dialing in, and someone says, "All right, well, let's get started." Then there's the blank space, the 8 seconds of dead air where no one knows what's happening. That fuzzy opening sets the tone for a meeting that drifts. One opening line replaces that confusion with instant clarity. That scene happens in conference rooms every day. An Atlassian survey of 5,000 knowledge workers showed that meetings fail 72% of the time. Most often, no decisions get made and nobody knows what's expected. Another 54% walk out without a clear next task. Bloomberg estimates that unproductive meetings cost large companies $100 million annually. Much of that waste starts in the first 10 seconds. The problem isn't what happens during the meeting. The first 10 seconds set the frame for everything that follows. When the opening is vague, the rest follows that pattern. Most advice focuses on agendas, facilitation, or follow-up. But the opening line is the most leveraged moment you're not using. One sentence can do what most meeting prep can't. When you say "let's get started" without naming the goal, you hand the room a vague instruction and hope they fill in the blank. There's a reason vague instructions always fail, proven across 40,000 participants. The principle is called goal clarity. Locke and Latham ran a 1990 meta-analysis across 40,000 participants. They showed that specific goals consistently beat vague do-your-best goals on 4 measures: attention, effort, persistence, and strategy development. When you open with "let's get started," you're giving the room a do-your-best instruction. The brain has nothing to anchor to, so attention splits and the conversation drifts before it even begins. One sentence replaces that ambiguity with a specific goal. You could open with "today's decision is the marketing spend. The owner is Jen, and the deadline is 12:30. This is how you apply Locke and Latham's finding to the first 10 seconds of your meeting. Everyone in the room knows what to focus on before the conversation starts. And you do it in less time than it takes to ask about someone's weekend. Here's how to build that sentence. The single opening line has 3 parts. The first part is the goal, and it names what the meeting is for. State today's decision, today's question, or today's checkpoint in one plain sentence. The second part is the owner, and it names the one person who's responsible for moving this forward, even if the whole room contributes. The third part is the deadline, and it says when this needs to be resolved or when the meeting ends. Here's today's decision: approve the Q3 budget. The owner is Jen, and the deadline is 11:30. Everyone walks in knowing exactly why they're there. The goal tells them what to decide, the owner tells them who decides it, and the deadline tells them when the decision is due. You pack 3 pieces into one sentence with 0 confusion. That's the whole technique. But most people miss it because they think the agenda will save them. Only 37% of meetings in the US use agendas. Following an agenda can cut meeting time by up to 80%. But this opener works even when the agenda was never read. It doesn't replace the agenda. It replaces the confusion that hits when people open their laptops and wait for someone else to start thinking. And this is where most people push back. Your meeting might not be about making a decision. You might be exploring ideas or checking on a project. The structure still works, you just change the frame. For a brainstorm or explore meeting, say this: here's today's question. Should we expand into the APAC market? We're surfacing options, not deciding yet. The owner is Mark, and we'll pick a direction by end of day. For an update or status meeting, say this: here's today's checkpoint, the product launch. Each person gives their status, their biggest risk, and their ask. The owner is Sarah. This principle holds across all 3, and you strip out ambiguity. The specific goal changes, but the structure stays the same. One sentence still does the work of an agenda that nobody read. Open your next meeting with one sentence that names the goal, the owner, and the deadline. Most people won't do this. They'll keep saying "let's get started" and hope the room figures it out. That gap is your advantage. In the next video, we'll look at how to run a meeting worth showing up to.